3 federal raids in 3 cities, Detroit, Phoenix, and Chicago. Interstate human body brokers, some say body snatchers, busted and shut down.
They cheated a lot of people. They deceived a lot of people.
Now only on 7, the very human part of this story. Detroit victims thinking they're helping to advance science, but they're really just helping the profiteers.
7 investigator Jim Kirchner has been leading the way on this story for a year and a half now.
And tonight he's here with new information that really drives this case home. Jim?
People signed up with these documents to avoid funeral costs and to get free cremation services for their loved ones. Some even signed up to donate their own bodies. They are shocked to learn the truth. For a few years now on Detroit's east side, Paulette Potts has been planning for the end of her life, specifically how in death she might help others.
To donate your body, and it goes for research.
That's a maxim that many people live and die by, but Paulette wasn't planning to donate her body through a hospital or a nonprofit group. It was through a Detroit company called International Biological. The deal? A body is used for scientific purposes for up to 2 years and then cremated. Loved ones receive the ashes free of charge. Paulette was connected to the company through a friend.
She said they were very nice and that it's on the up and up, and she had her husband cremated.
What Paulette didn't know, what she couldn't know when she signed this contract, is that her body was likely headed here, a shabby warehouse near Detroit City Airport, where in December of 2013, the feds discovered a human meat market. Why were you stockpiling hundreds of human body parts here, sir? What you don't see inside the sealed containers, sources say, are arms, legs, heads of more than 1,000 different people, cut up and kept on ice, not embalmed, so they would be fresh, for sale to places like universities and medical offices. The operation stretched to Chicago and Phoenix, where the feds raided offices of related companies, biological resource centers. They found documents showing how bodies donated in Chicago were sold in Detroit, and cremated remains given to families in Chicago were incomplete or even fake. That's because the feds found body parts were kept on ice in the Detroit warehouse to be sold later. Investigators also found a menu of sorts.
$500 for a head, $750 for arms, $5,000 for a whole body on the black market.
I think that's awful, because that was not the purpose, and I'm sure that's not the purpose that other people donated their bodies.
There was, of course, nothing like this in the contract Paulette signed, but there was fine print that said the gifts, meaning bodies, are to be used in teaching scientific research or other purposes, including anatomical segmentation. In other words, cutting them up. It goes on to say they can be used for profit. Paulette and her friends never had a clue.
They cheated a lot of people. They deceived a lot of people.
They're not alone. A decade ago, the feds busted a similar operation in Philadelphia. A guy selling bodies out of the back of a funeral home for $1,000 each.
It's kind of like a combination of criminal conduct of taking body snatching and chop shops and combining them for the worst possible scenario that you could think of.
We recently encountered Art Rathburn, the owner of International Biological, while we were outside his now shuttered warehouse. He hasn't talked with us in a year and a half that we've been covering his case. He's not charged with any crimes. He drove off and took us on a long tour of the east side of Detroit, trying to lose us on I-94, east to the Detroit border, and back to Grosse Pointe Park, where he lives. Check this out. He turned into the city complex and complained to a cop that we were following him. The cop responded he couldn't help. We were doing our job. The federal investigation, we are told, could soon be over, and indictments handed down in Detroit, Chicago, and Phoenix this summer.
I called all my friends and told them about it. I said, you better look at this news.
Michigan revoked Art Rathburn's licenses after that federal raid and after we asked why they did nothing for 2 years. State officials now tell us Art Rathburn was never licensed to receive body donations. In the newsroom, Jim Kirchner, 7 Action News.
Just sounds unbelievable. The FBI knows this story, and the new information may generate a lot of questions. You can go to their website, fbi.gov, and in the upper right corner in the search box, type body donations. This will take you to links for information and how to submit your own questions.